How to be vegan. This is my number one biggest tip for anyone who's looking to go vegan or is vegan. And if you're into fitness, if you're into building muscle, bodybuilding, or you want to look good, you want to be fit or healthy, my number one biggest tip for you. I'm going to get straight into it. When you go vegan, there's a lot of things you have to think about, obviously. But one thing that a lot of people get wrong is food intake. They don't look at the calories that they're eating. And one thing that I highly recommend, which I think this is my tip, you have to know how much food you're eating. You have to know how much food you need to eat to sustain your body weight, or whether your goals are to build muscle, to lose weight. You have to know how much calories you need, and you have to learn how to track your calories. Now, one thing a lot of people get wrong when they go vegan is when you eat meat, when you eat dairy for so long and you switch to a vegan diet, vegan food is naturally high in volume but low in calories, which means you have to eat a lot more food to get in your calories that you need. And a lot of people end up under-eating, and a lot of people, that tends to lead to unwanted weight loss, or they don't get the calories that they need, and they just quickly assume that this is because of a vegan diet. No, this is because they're not getting in enough calories. So you need to know how many calories you need to eat and ease into being vegan. Don't jump straight into going vegan straight away. I mean, you can jump straight into it. I jumped straight into it, but I highly recommend people to ease into it. Start off by replacing things that are, as things in your house run out, replacing things that are non-vegan into vegan items. Things like vegan mayonnaise or vegan cheese or vegan meats. And I know that, sometimes the vegan food can be expensive, especially when you're looking at vegan cheese, vegan meats, which, I do enjoy those foods, but I don't make a habit of eating that often. I like to treat myself every now and then. But vegan meats, vegan cheese, those are a good, choice if you've been eating vegan food, if you've been eating meat and cheese for so long, to ease into going vegan. But the one thing that I would recommend is a whole foods plant-based approach. This is the most budget-friendly approach. This is the most healthiest approach, is by just switching to things that are lentils and chickpeas and legumes and just things that are whole food in nature. And the best cuisine to do this with is Indian food. Indian food is honestly a game changer. If you're a vegan, learn how to cook Indian food. Eat more Indian food. Indian food is so tasty. And if you cook it yourself, if you make it yourself, you can make it so healthy. I have so many recipes on my YouTube channel. Just go type up my name, Lakshay Naidu, curry recipe. You'll see so many recipes that I've made. And it's like things like chickpea curry, lentils, dal. These things are so high in protein and so high in fiber and so healthy for you. Indian cuisine is a hack. It's a game changer. Especially if you're new to veganism, if you're eating out, if you're confused about where to go to eat and stuff like that, Indian food is your answer. I'm Indian, and honestly, I don't eat as much Indian food as I'd like to. I like cooking Indian food every now and then, but especially for people who are beginning to get into veganism, honestly, most Indian food, apart from little ingredients like ghee, butter, yogurt, most vegetarian Indian foods are vegan. Of course, if you're eating out at restaurants, I would double check to make sure that it is vegan. But in pretty much every Indian restaurant has vegan options, or I'm sure you can make things vegan by asking them to remove ghee, butter, things like that, remove yogurt. And even if, I'm sure they'd be able to make at least one dish vegan. Something like dal, super simple. So Indian cuisine is such a good way of getting into veganism. And you can eat out, you can learn how to make it yourself, you can cook at home, but it is a game changer. Curry is such an excellent way of getting in whole foods, plant-based protein in your diet. This is my hack, this is my tip, Indian food. It ticks off two things, getting in enough calories, getting in enough protein. But of course, I still highly recommend making sure you're at least hitting your calories that you need to eat. You don't have to track your food every single day, just track it one whole day. And if you eat similar foods every day, you know for sure that you're hitting your calories, but track your foods for one day just to make sure that you are eating the calories that you need. Because sometimes I know that I go through a full day of eating and I feel really full, and then when I put all my food into my Fitness Pal, I realize I'm still like 300, 400 calories short. I'm at 1900 or 2000 calories, which is insane because I feel so full. I'm cutting, but I'm still feeling, I'm still have so much food to eat. And that is the power of whole food. I mean, if you like eating a lot of food like me, this is amazing. But if you don't, then make sure that you're eating enough calories. One way you can make sure you are getting enough calories is by increasing your fat intake. Things like nuts, almonds, cashews, peanuts. These things are so small in quantity, but high in calories. Now, fats are an excellent source of calories, loaded with nutrition, but that's only if, you're struggling to get in calories. Adding things like peanut butter to smoothies. Peanut butter is one of my favorite foods. So that's one way you can sort of get in more calories. But if not, I mean, there's so many ways of getting in calories that, I can think of, but make sure you are getting in your calories. That's one thing that I can say. You have to make sure you're getting in enough calories, because if you're not tracking your food, you don't know how many calories you're eating. You may be under eating, or you even maybe overeating, but more often than not, you're probably under eating. Especially if you're a new vegan or if you're looking to get into veganism, make sure you start to learn how to track your calories and make sure you're hitting those calories. And naturally with a whole foods approach, you're going to be eating a balanced diet. Something like dal and rice, chickpea curry and rice, things like this, Indian foods like this, curry and rice with some sort of whole foods plant-based protein is a well-balanced meal. It's a complete protein meal. So that's why I recommend Indian food if you're just getting into veganism. And of course, from there you can sort of branch off into whatever other cuisine you want, Mexican, Middle Eastern, Asian. But Indian food is a great place to start, especially if you're looking to eat out with your friends, if you're going to eat out, getting food from outside, Indian food is the way to go. I hope this video helps. Once again, make sure you're getting enough calories. And if you're just getting into veganism, Indian food is a great option. And if you're struggling to get in calories, increasing your fats. But tracking your calories, learning how to track your macros and not even macros, just calories in general, is a must. Don't skip over this. I hope this helps. I'll see you guys in the next one.